There are already so many really good farm sim games out there, like Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Story of Seasons, or Harvest Moon. But there are so many new farm sim games currently being developed and being released soon. And most of them have a really unique twist on the genre, so they really are something to be excited about. In this video, I'll be going through some of the most anticipated upcoming farm sim games, and I'll give a brief overview of their core features and differences. Okay, let's get started. Roots of Pacha. Roots of Pacha is an upcoming co-op farming and lifestyle sim game that takes a very different approach. It is set in the Stone Age, and all the NPCs and village members were once nomads, so there is no seed shop or a place to purchase animals. Instead, the game takes a much different approach. You will have to find and discover seeds, and improve upon the seeds until they become more domesticated. This approach is very different and adds interesting depth to the game. The animals are also very different. You'll find animals out in the wild, and through some unknown mechanic, you'll be able to gain their trust, and over time, they will join you, and as you breed your animals, they might also evolve into new species. From the Kickstarter, it seems that the animals play a vital role in efficiency and will ultimately allow your tribe to evolve and unlock new technologies. The evolving mechanic is quite interesting. You can compare it to getting to a new age in a game like Age of Empires, where after some milestones are met, your knowledge base is upgraded and you're capable of creating more advanced buildings. I think this is the first time this mechanic has been brought into a farm sim game, so I'm really interested to see how it all comes together. The game does also include the much loved feature of building friendships and relationships with your fellow townspeople. Roots of Pacha is currently on Kickstarter, so if this seems interesting to you, please check them out. The link is in the description below. One Lonely Outpost. One Lonely Outpost is an awesome new approach to the farm sim genre, as it is a sci-fi farm sim. You start the game off by being the only colonist on some planet with some potato seeds, and you slowly plant crops and raise animals on your outpost. As you prove you can grow crops and produce good quality food, colonists will join your outpost and you will slowly build an entire community. Specialists will also come to visit your outpost to do some research. This is an awesome approach, as the town isn't there already. Your farming effort will result in people coming and the town farming. Another feature is that you don't know who will be joining your farm and at what stage they will be joining. This adds to replayability. One of the mechanics that I am most excited for is that once you have proved this planet and this outpost is capable of producing good crops, another farmer might come up and set up their own farm. This would result in a rivalry and some competition. I think this could be really cool. You also get the choice of having an all-natural farm, or you can have a high-tech farm. Another fun addition is the inclusion of exploring ancient alien ruins. You'll be able to explore dungeons with robot protectors and potentially find out the secrets of the planet and why it is abandoned. All in all, I think One Lonely Outpost will definitely be a fun and very different farming sim game. I can't wait to try it out. Coral Island. By now, I'm sure you have heard of Coral Island. It is possibly the most anticipated game that seemingly came out of nowhere. It is being developed by StairWay Games, a studio in Indonesia, and the game claims to be a reimagined farm sim game inspired by the classics. Even though this game doesn't have as drastic changes as some of the other games on the list, Coral Island does have some very interesting concepts. Firstly, the game features an extensive coral reef cleaning mechanism where players will be diving into the ocean and cleaning the ocean. While doing this, the player will meet some merpeople. What's even more interesting is that, according to the Kickstarter, there will be an explorable mer kingdom as well as dateable merpeople. Now this can definitely be seen as reimagining the farm sim game. I think the reason the hype for this game is so high is because the trailer just looks so polished. Most of the concepts in this game have already been explored, but Coral Island seems to be doing a good job of implementing them well, and and expanding on them. For example, in Coral Island, you're given an extensive skill tree where you can choose which tools you'd want special attributes for. For example, you might have the choice of harvesting crops in an AoE or increasing the quality of harvested crops, but having to harvest them one at a time. Changes like this that extend the gameplay and provide decisions will really allow Coral Island to stand out, and it has. Coral Island has already reached 1.2 million on their Kickstarter, and there is still a few days left to go. My Time at Sandrock is an upcoming farm sim game being developed by Panthea Games, the same developers of My Time in Pacha. The game adopts the same cute 3D art style, so if you would like to mix up the 2D art style from games like Stardew Valley, then this might be a good contender. From the trailer and the Steam page, we can see that the game has adopted many RPG elements and the introduction of a robust combat system. This is pretty different to what we are used to in a farm sim game, but so far the combat looks pretty clean and satisfying. I'm curious to see how well this approach of making combat more of a core feature will play out. Of course, there will be still loads of farming in My Time at Sandrock. As you progress through the story and rebuild the town back to its former glory, you will unlock more land around you to expand your farm. My Time at Sandrock is a relatively large open world map that you can explore freely. One of the rarest and most important resources is water. That is very different to most other farm sim games, as this game takes place in mostly what appears to be a beautiful desert wasteland. I only played a little of My Time in Pacha, but My Time at Sandrock looks interesting enough that you'll know I'll give it a try when it is released. Ova Magicka. This is what happens when you mix your classic farm sim game with Pokemon. This is a really strange entry to this list, but I added it because of how cute it is. This is another farm sim game that is adopting mechanics from other games and incorporating them in a farm sim game genre. In Ova Magicka, you get given an overgrown farm similar to the start of many farm sim games, but with one big twist. You can tame and use blobs to make farming tasks much easier. Some blobs can water a bunch of crops at the same time, while others can fertilize your crops. This is very different from what we are used to, but not all blobs are only there to help you farm. You can also battle other trainers with them. I'm getting some real Pokemon vibes now. In Ova Magicka, you train your blobs and battle the townspeople. Hopefully they can implement a system where you can battle your friends in co-op. That could be a really fun mechanic and would give us a very good reason to grind out the game. There is a whole world you get to explore called Blob Island. This is where you battle and capture wild blobs in Blob, where you'll find all kinds of rare and tough blobs. So make sure to train up and be ready for battle. There are great treasures in here to collect after all. If you'd like to learn more about Ova Magicka, the link to their Kickstarter is in the description below. This game has a lot to unpack. Thanks for watching this video. For all of us farm sim fans, we have a lot to be excited for. The hardest decision we have is which game do we pick? Or can we play all of them? Out of these 5 upcoming games, which one are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments below, and subscribe for more updates. But for now, until next time.